Mighty Number 9 is best known to try to be the spiritual successor of Mega Man than by its own merits, but does this game has its own charm that can make him stand out from that image? Well, let's have a look. I have to start by saying that I was not able to defeat all the game bosses, but since we could randomly choose any level to play in, I could play the entire game, and I would be able to finish it under 7 hours if I was not such a bad player. Mighty Number 9 is an action platformer where we destroy and absorb bots, and at the same time we have to solve simple platformer puzzles to progress. The story of the game is not very complex. A virus infected all the machines that were turned on, tweaking their programs and making them bad. And then comes Beck, our hero, one of the mighty ones, that has to fight all other robots and be something like an antivirus to them. The capacity he has to absorb other robots is the way he obtains new abilities, weapons and powers that could theoretically change all gameplay. But most times the default weapon is the better one, except against some of the bosses, and even there, with some patience, I think any player could win with the default setup, easily. This makes that it's not very important to choose wisely the levels to play. We can choose in any other order that we want, and we do not need any weapon to go through a specific level, so just play where you want. One of my favorite game mechanics was the dash to absorb the opponent. After we hit some other robots, with some shots we can dash through them to absorb their powers. Each of those actions could give us a score that at the end of the level was added to the global list. That was kinda arcadey, and I like that. Unfortunately, that mechanic was also used to pass through some puzzle sections of the game, and could also be used to ignore large portions of each level. We can just ignore most robots dashing over and under them, and this could be quite cool for a speedrunner, but gameplay wise seems like cheating. Devs have noticed that for sure, since they have made a challenge mode just for speedrunners. Controls are easy to grasp. I've quickly adapted to dash movement and the way Beck could transform himself in another robot. Despite the trickiness of that action, since it required a lot of button presses and just one more would require us to restart the process. If we were stopped, there was no problem, but in the middle of a battle it's quite hard, since the game punishes us for any mistake. That's the problem of requiring a controller when we could map an entire set of keys on our PC keyboard, PC ports. Even the controller sensitivity was not great. I've tried several controllers and with any of those some of the times I've released the left thumbstick and Beck would turn the other way when I just wanted to stop. Gameplay wise, some of the levels are balanced and fun. We can notice that there was some thought about the level design, so we do not have to spend time in boring sections. But most levels are made from a bunch of boring parts with some random difficulty spike in the middle, something like a small turn or an hard jump, where we could lose tons of lives. And then more boring stuff until the final boss. This was quite frustrating since I was able to tempo the opponent robots, but not that jump or turn. It's a lazy way to making harder levels. The art style is all over the place also. This is not very objective, of course, but in this cartoon style game there are some parts that could use more polish. The background could always use some more polish, but even some important platforms could be better, since sometimes it's hard to distinguish them from the background, and sometimes even the opponents are hard to distinguish from the actual background. The voice acting is mostly uninspired. One or two characters are fine, but most of them are lazy, slow and annoying. Even Beck's voice lines are unbearable after a level or two. The music is okay and we can tweak it even a bit. Just to finish, I did have fun with the game, but I think it's a niche game, or even better, a niche inside a niche game. Let me explain. Mega Man's fans will be disappointed with the game since it's quite inferior to the original. Action platformers fans will be disappointed since the controls are not accurate enough, the platformer sections are not challenging enough, and since it's possible to ignore most of the adversaries, that does not fit usual gameplay. Fans of hard games will be also disappointed since the game is not hard enough. So, who will like this game? The speedrunners, of course, and someone who wants to try a hard game but does not want an hardcore one like, I do not know, a Dark Souls. This game is not bad, but it has nothing remarkable for me to speak of. If you find this one in a sale or in a bundle, give it a go. It's not bad. Have fun, guys. See you next time. Bye.